Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching. Today we are going to be teaching you how to do this amazing smoky eye, nice dark black lid. So if you've ever wanted to know how to do a really fast, easy, quick smoky eye, stay tuned. So we've completed skin already. So she's got her foundations on. She has a tiny bit of contour. I'm gonna jump right into eyes. My #1 requested video. Who wants to know how to do a smoky eye? Everybody wants a smoky eye. There's so many different ways to do a smoky eye. Today I'm gonna teach you one of the most quick, easy, simple, everyone can do it smoky eye. It's gonna be more of like a black-based smoky eye. But again, there's so many different ways, there's so many different techniques, there's so many different versions of a smoky eye. So hopefully you enjoy this one, and we're just gonna get started. So a lot of times with smoky eyes, you have a ton of fallout, you have all this black all over your face, so you may or may not wanna do skin first. I have my ways, and I just love when my skin is perfected first. So we haven't done concealer, but if you need to do skin last, you do you, whatever you need to do. I prefer just to have it done. So I'm gonna start out with a little bit of a base. This is a paint pot by MAC. I'm actually just going to do this on the top part of the eye, and I will show you why in a moment. So just a little bit, and I'm taking my ring finger just to blend it out. I had a lot on my brush. So I'm just using a flat synthetic brush. I like to use synthetic brushes for anything cream-based. So just kind of blending this out, and you see I kind of went from the crease up to the brow bone. I left the lid open. And the reason why, I will show you. Turning my brush over to be conservative and not have to wash a million brushes every single night. We are going to use the other side of the synthetic brush. So using a black gel liner, this one's by MAC, it's called Black Track. It's one of my all-time favorites. Other side of the brush, invert that brush, turn it upside down just so you can get really close to the lash line. And this is going to be my base for the smoky eye. This will help prevent a lot of black shadow fallout. You're getting a lot of the rich color with your base so that you don't need to have as much powder, which also eliminates fallout. Look at that. So now that I have my shape, I want to take a smaller kind of dense blending brush. This one is MAC 226. So I'm just going to go right along the edges right before it sets. It sets pretty quickly, so you want to work fast and blend that edge. The reason why you want this edge blended is because once it sets, it's going to be hard to create like a gradated look. You want it gradated before it sets. So back and forth motions, kind of circular, and now I get that fade. So go ahead and open, Lindsay. And so her lid is nice and black, and it's just fading right to where her crease is. And I will show you, we're gonna do a couple more steps, but that is kind of the basics. And then I'll show you something else too. Couple tricks here. So again, other side, invert your brush upside down to get right close to that lash line. Press and pull. So just really, really close. And then I'm gonna go right side up with the brush. A little fleck fall out. And we're going to paint it all along her lid, or your lid, whatever you're doing, right to the outside. And then blend that edge. So we went ahead and did a little bit of gel liner along the lid, blended it out with a tighter kind of crease brush, something that can really move the product just to get that soft gradated edge. And I'm trying to be conservative with my brushes here. You know, that some people don't have thousands like I do. I probably don't have thousands, maybe hundreds. So using one brush, remember 2 sides. So I have my primer on one side, my gel liner on the other, so that way you can just use the same brush and only wash it one time. and then using that crease brush to kind of move everything, and then you get that like soft gradated edge. So I'm gonna use my same brush. We're gonna be conservative today. Going in with a neutral tone to blend the edges. I'm gonna show you something. This is the Matte About You Violet Voss palette. I am a huge fan of Violet Voss. They started sending me stuff before I think they were in any stores. They might have just been on the internet. Have you ever used Violet Voss?
No.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, one of my faves. So I love these palettes. Whoever created these, I actually don't know the creator, but shout out to you. You are kicking butt. Everything is so beautiful. The colors are amazing. So this one is a matte palette. You've got your blacks, you've got every shade of brown that you're gonna need for pretty much any look. So you have light to dark, you have cool to warm, you have your brow highlight colors. I mean, everything you need in one palette. It's so nice. So for Lindsay, we can choose what color would be best for her skin tone. So the deeper tones, you guys can kind of be in here. You've got some cooler tones, you've got some warmer tones. I am going to start with, this one's called Smitten. So again, same brush that we moved that gel liner with, and I'm gonna go right along the edge of the black. We are creating dimension and creating gradation. So we are layering on top of each other and then going where there's no black. So I'm starting with the light and then gonna go into deeper and darker. But now we get that soft gradation. So again, Smitten a little bit on the end of the brush, right into that crease. A little bit of back and forth. I'm pressing very light and just kind of blending that edge up into her crease, pulling it out, grabbing a tiny bit more product, pulling it out really gently. So the key here is layering. So we're layering over the edge of the black to get that gradation there. And now we're gonna come in with another color and go a little bit more exact. I will show you. We haven't done the brow highlight color, so you can kind of be a little bit sloppy. Not sloppy, you never wanna be sloppy. Wrong word choice. You can be a little bit not perfect with where you're placing the edge of your crease, because you can always come in with a brow highlight and kind of bring it down. We got one little flake. Boop. Anytime you have a flake, you want to brush it away as fast as possible if you have your skin on already. So we haven't done concealer, but she has foundation. So if you have a fleck that falls out, brush it away with something kind of fluffy. Don't press really hard. Dust it away before it sets in there. So we've done her crease. We've brought it up. I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of brow highlight just under the brow to start. The color I chose is a little lighter than I was expecting. So if that happens to you, I like to teach you how to fix errors. So not that this is an error, but I did use a bigger brush. So with using this lighter color, I probably should have chosen a smaller brush, but I didn't. It's okay. So since that brow highlight took away a little bit of the warmth that I was so happy when I did with the crease, we're gonna add the warmth back in. So using Sweet Talk, peachy color, nice and warm, go back in and fake it. So we are adding that warmth back in to the crease. You can do this anytime if it's looking too gray or if it's just not the color you want it to be. Add that back in, don't be shy. So now that we have our gradated crease, we have the black faded into the neutral tone, faded into the brow highlight, added the warmth back in because I made that mistake. It happens. We are gonna go in with a dark chocolate brown. This one's called Darling. So anything that's going to kind of give that natural gradation from black to the lighter crease color. So we're gonna go in right along the edge. And yes, I'm doing a black smoky eye and I'm using a lot of browns. This is not a brown smoky eye. Don't get confused. But this is how you make a black smoky eye look good. So again, Darling, right above her eyeball. And I know it looks like I'm taking away some of the black. We actually haven't added in the black shadow yet. Remember that black that we put on was just the base of the depth. So again, dark chocolate brown, matte. You do not want any shimmer when you're doing this step. I mean, you can have shimmer, but it's gonna reflect. It's not gonna create the same kind of dimension. So this one's called Darling from my beautiful Darling Violet Voss Mad About You palette. And going in right above the eyeball and creating that. So we went from dark to neutral to light, back in with dark, and just creating that gradation. Now I'm gonna take a fluffy blending brush. So you've got your MAC 224, you have anything that has kind of those longer, fluffier bristles. No product. Don't put any product on this. This is your blender. We are not going to add any more shadows. So we're gonna take this, and we're just blending. Do you see how that just like disappears? You don't want any lines when you're doing a smoky eye. That's what makes it smoky, is that you have this beautiful gradation. So smoky, smoky, smoky. I'm just taking it, again, no product. This is how we're just blending out all the stuff we just did. So now we've got a lot of browns in there. Let's bring that black back in. Using a very small, flat brush, you can use natural hair, synthetic hair, whatever you feel like, and getting a matte black shadow. So in my Mad About You Violet Voss palette, Mi Amore, top corner, nice and black. Get some product on there, tap it off. You do not want this to fall, so tap, tap, tap. You can also, some people will spray it with a setting spray or hydrating spray. I just like it to be powder. This is my trick, turn it upside down. So I invert my brush, go right to the lash line and press it right on top of the black base that we have. Press and pull up. This is catching any of that fallout, any of that powder, and putting it right back on the eyeball, okay? So we are pressing and pulling, and I'm just getting that base of the eye really, really dark. Again, black shadow, small, flat brush. Invert your brush, press it upside down where you're pressing and doing just a tiny little pull. You don't want to tap, because if you tap, you're going to tap the powder onto the cheek. So I've already done most of the skin. I don't want black powder on my skin, so we are just pressing and pulling and softening that so that it fades into that dark brown shadow that we've already done. And now you have kind of your black smokiness going on. So I'm going to do a little bit higher on this eye. Just looking at Lindsay when she opens, I want to open this lid up a little bit more. Let me see. Perfect. Again, taking your clean blending brush, softening any edges that you have. I brought the black up a little bit higher on that side, so just kind of softening that there. All right, so now we are going to take a black pencil. This is one of my favorite pencils. These are like 10 bucks, 11 bucks, 12 bucks, something along that price range. These are the Sephora 12-hour waterproof pencils. They are nice and creamy. They stay. I love them. Thank you, Sephora, for making these. There's a huge color range. So you've got your blacks, your browns, your everything. I love them. So, favorite pencil here. So we're gonna do a tight lining. So if you were as close as me to Lindsay, you can see that the base of her lashes is not black. It is still skin colored. So I'm going to tight line the top and tight line the bottom. So I'm gonna have her look down. I'm gonna pull slightly on the lid. So there is still skin here, and this is going to tickle, and you can blink as much as you need. And I'm going to color the base of her lashes. When you are doing somebody else's makeup, do it a little bit at a time. Little bit, let them rest. A little bit, let them rest. Otherwise, waterworks. You do not want waterworks. So again, look down, press and pull slightly up. And we are just going to, and the inside tickles the most. Press and pull. And then now she's got, it's all black. It's all nice and rich and smoky. This is a huge thing, especially if somebody has kind of like a thicker lash base, I guess. You can totally notice it when you don't do this. So huge tip, definitely tight line your top when you're doing a smoky eye. Also, for those people that need eyeliner but don't have a lot of lid, this is a great technique with any eyeshadow because you're getting that like full lash look. So This is called tightlining. Once again, look down. We are pressing and lifting, taking that waterproof black pencil, going right into those bases, the base of those lashes. And I'm literally just doing a tiny press, very gentle. It tickles your clients. Give them a little bit of a break. Do not make them cry. It tickles, huh?
Yeah.
It's very, and when you're doing it on yourself, it's like you can definitely do it on yourself. Like I kind of do this, and then you have to like, okay, do a little bit more, and then wait. So it's a gradual thing, but again, I take my thumb and I like to press and lift, get right in there. Make sure your pencil is nice and sharpened. So I sharpened it before because you want that point to be big. You do not want wood scraping the inside of their eye. So make sure you always sharpen pencil. Plus, it's more sanitary, so always sharpen your pencils before you put them on. And then I'm just gonna get the outside. Again, pressing and lifting. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we've tight lined the top. Now we are going to line the waterline. So go ahead and look up for me. Again, this is a very black, rich, smoky eye. Lindsay has beautiful green eyes. So this is going to be kind of an intense look on her, but we requested a black smoky eye today. All right, so we are waterlining, tightlining the waterline. Again, same thing with the top. You want to get the base of those lashes. So you want to get not only the inner rim, but right into the base of the lashes. It will just help create that nice, rich, dark smoky. This doesn't have to be perfect because talking about gradation, we are going to use a brown. This one's a shimmery brown. I actually might need a matte one. Hold on, time out. Okay, so we have done the black waterline, and now I'm taking a brown, matte brown, same kind of pencil, my favorite Sephora 12-hour. Go ahead and look up for me. So we're gonna fade black to brown. This is kind of one of my everyday tricks. Doesn't have to be a smoky eye. I love personally, on my eyes, I love my waterline black. Okay, so we've tight lined with black in the waterline, taking a matte brown pencil. This is my favorite Sephora 12-hour. This one is the Tiramisu number 13. Just a matte dark chocolate brown. And I'm taking this right, not along, I guess right underneath my, my black lash line. And then taking a tiny little, I love this guy, tiny little, this one's Morphe M507. So a small blending brush. And I'm just going to soften that edge before it sets. You can do also like, I call them pencil brushes, something with that kind of like small domed tip. Something just really small. You want your bottom, again, we're doing smoky, so you want your bottom to be smoky as well. So I'm smoking it out from black to brown. This creates a natural gradation, okay? This is my trick. I use this every day on myself. I love black in my waterline and I love brown liner. Black to brown. Fades out, makes it look really natural. Okay, so right underneath the lash line with this chocolate brown matte eyeliner. And I'm just drawing it on. And again, this is fading your black to brown. Taking your Morphe M507 tiny little blending brush and softening that edge, just like that. And Lindsay's got these beautiful green eyes, so this is definitely more of a dramatic look for her. She's going out tonight. So we're doing the smoky eye on her. You can definitely bring this down a little far. You're getting that kind of like gradated smoky eye. Remember, we haven't done concealer yet, so we're gonna clean up any darkness that we have under the eyes. But this is how you get that natural fade. Sometimes people are trying to blend black into your skin color. It's not a proper gradation. You need something more neutral to be able to fade. So this is my trick. Everyone can do a smoky eye. You're just usually not blending and you're not using your browns. So this is a black smoky eye faded into brown. But guess what? You don't really see the brown. It just looks natural. Ding. All right. Now just for fun, I'm gonna take one with a tiny bit of shimmer. Shimmer reflects light. So we're gonna go along the very edge of the brown, so even a little bit deeper. We're gonna give you a nice smoky liner. And this one is Cocoa, I think. I love this one too. Yep, Cocoa. Guess what? It's my favorite Sephora 12-hour pencil. I have almost all of them. All right, and we are just going along the very edge. And I'm just doing a tiny bit. Instead of drawing like a strict line, I'm kind of blending it as I draw it, but always go back in, tiny little Morphe brush, blend that edge. There you go. Da, 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 da. And we're kind of getting that gradated color here. You can also bring it out, but kind of just keeping it right there. If you want to, you can also take a shadow from your Violet Voss Mad About You palette and go over the edges. So if I were to do that, I'm not going to on Lindsay, but if I were to do that, if you want your fading to be like more of, sometimes people like the smoky faded into like red, which would actually make your eyes look more green. So you could do any of these kind of colors here. So like Mesmerize would be really pretty going underneath there. You know what? Why don't I do it? Let's try it. You've got green eyes. So green is opposite from red. So anything with a red undertone is going to make your eyes look more green. So do you ever wear purple shadows or any like coppery shadows or sunsetty colors?
Like orange. I do that like every day.
There you go. See? And look up for me. So I'm going to take this and go along the very edge. And again, we haven't done concealer yet, so don't worry. We're not going to make her look like she has dark circles, I promise. So this one's Mesmerized. Again, being conservative with my brushes, this is only the third or fourth brush I've used on her eyes. So this is M507 from Morphe. And just going over that edge. And since we're going right on top of that 12-hour Sephora pencil, it's going to stay. It almost acts like a primer. You know what? I really like that. So we're going to add a tiny bit on the top. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to take that blender brush so this is the MAC 224. This one is the one that I had no product on. It was just blending. And I'm going to go tap, tap, 2 tiny taps, not a lot of product. And I'm just going to go right along the edge because I want to, 2 more taps. I want to bring that warmth that we had on the bottom to the top. Just a tiny bit. You do not need a lot. So 2 little taps. Tap the brush off. Very light. Do you feel how light I'm pressing?
Yeah.
It's like almost tickling, right?
Feels good.
Feels good. Little eye massage. Okay, so we brought that warmth in on the top, brought that warmth in on the bottom. Really loving this so far. So we are going to finish off the eyes and then go back in and clean up with the concealer. So for eyes, you already have really curly lashes. Do you curl your lashes?
No.
You don't. You don't need to. See? I could tell. Oh, I know what I'm going to teach you guys. So Lindsay has curly lashes. She has a little bit smaller eyes. Her brow bone is really prominent. Do your lashes touch a lot?
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you get a lot of transfer?
Yes.
Okay, I can tell. So that can happen to a lot of people. If your lashes are touching, when you close your eyes, some people have really straight lashes, they're gonna transfer on the bottom. When you open your eyes, if you have really curly lashes, they might transfer on the top. So if you don't wear eyeshadow, if you just put an eyeshadow primer on and your face powder, that will help absorb any excess oil using a waterproof mascara to help because oil breaks down waterproof. So even with the waterproof, if your lids are oily, you might still get some transfer. So I would suggest, I was gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes, but now that I've seen her lashes, I'm switching to a waterproof. So one of my favorite waterproof ones is, this is Lancome Hypnos Drama Waterproof. I find it doesn't transfer. It's so good. I use it on stage all the time for my clients that sing and sweat and everything. I don't want to have black mascara running down their faces. So it's also really good. It's also really good at volumizing, lengthening, thickening, kind of all of the above. So we are going to use a waterproof mascara?
No. I find it too hard to wash off at night sometimes.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
You have to use an oil-based cleanser.
Okay.
So using, I really love the Almay waterproof eye makeup remover pads because they're really oily and it comes pre-soaked in a pad.
Okay.
And you just kind of like do this and then go down and it's gone. So, and then whoop, whoop,
I'll have to
clean
try
up like that. We're gonna send her home with a list of everything she needs. So if you have problem taking off waterproof, Almay pads are awesome, or any type of oily cleanser. L'Oreal makes a good one, Sephora makes a good one, Lancome makes a good one. Just depends whatever you are wanting. So here's my trick. So taking a tissue, folding it like this, I'm gonna apply it on her lid, and then this way, I'm not getting any transfer, but I can really like work the mascara in. So sometimes if you have really curly lashes, or if your brow bone's a little more prominent, deep set eye, or if you really just want to not mess up your eyeshadow and really work the mascara in. So I can lift up her lashes and smush. And see, look at that. Now she's got mascara on and all my excess is on this tissue that just goes in the trash instead of all over her eye. So we're gonna do it again. Putting the tissue there really close to the lash line, taking our mascara and just smooshing the lashes. I like to press and wiggle. It really coats the entire lash. And this is lifting them. It's, you know, getting the ends. So we are just pressing and again, smooshing the lashes. I don't know why I say smooshing, but that's what we're doing. We're smooshing them. All right, so now she's got her top mascara on. I'm gonna let it set for a second before we do the bottom, because if she looks up, then we get the little dots. So we're gonna let that set for a moment. I'm going to sweep away any fallout that we might have, because we're gonna go into concealer next. So sweeping away any tiny little fallout, which is why we didn't do concealer. All right, so now the top is probably set. Go ahead and look up for me. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of mascara along the bottom. And this again is waterproof. So hopefully she won't get much transfer. And then I'm gonna send her home with some of those Almay pads so she can get it off tonight. Because I'm a nice makeup artist. That's what we do. We set our clients up for success. All right. Sometimes I'll take the wand this way and kind of drag it along the bottom of the lashes and comb down. You can definitely do that. If you go this way, just make sure you're not obstructing their view. And that's why I'm having her look up, because if she was looking forward, go ahead and look forward for me, and I do this. Isn't it like make you feel like you're gonna get poked? Yeah. So it makes them more nervous. So go ahead and look all the way up. She doesn't see my wand. She might feel it, but she doesn't see it, and it will make her a little bit more comfortable. And it also kind of like props those bottom lashes out a little bit. So, okay, so I mean, you've got this black smoky eye going on. We've got your mascara. I think we can do just a tiny bit of brow. Taking my trusty, but I need a new one, Anastasia brow palette. So this one is medium brown. I'm using probably the taupe color, something just really light. And I'm just going to flick. She doesn't need a lot of brow, but I want to kind of like perfect the bottom of her brow. So I'm just kind of pressing up and flicking. I really want her brows to be nice and wispy for this look. Since her eye is so dark, I don't want her brows to be too stark. Do you fill in your brows every day? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah.
Do you do them like really strong or just really soft?
I do them pretty soft, yeah. I use the little gel container of the...
Perfect. Like the like a brow gel?
Yeah.
Is it tinted?
It's just the...
Or is it clear? Or is it the pomade stuff?
It's the pomade stuff. And it lasts so long.
Right?
Like, I feel like I'll never run out of it.
There's so much in there. So Anastasia makes a really good one called Dip Brow.
That's the one
you have?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just kind of pressing and flicking. So you normally use Dip Brow, which is a pomade. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of giving you this kind of messier brow. It's really in right now. We can clean them up if you don't love it. But
I love it.
Okay, cool. She's got really good brows. So I'm basically pressing and flicking so that the hairs are kind of combed up and outward. Very model-esque. But that way you've got this really dark eye and the brows just are kind of feathery and really pretty framing it. So, all right, brows done. Now we're gonna finish with a little bit of concealer. I can either take the foundation that we did before, or I can take a concealer. I think I'm gonna grab a little concealer. Okay, I love you, BECCA, but seriously, I'm not this old. I can just never read these. Cream, I read it. Oh my gosh. I called my mom. I was like, I think I need glasses. But I think BECCA just makes them really small. I've got cream and banana. I read both of them. I'm so proud of myself. Seriously, last week I couldn't read these. Okay, so cream and banana. Cream is more pink, banana is more yellow. Taking a small, flat but fluffy concealer brush. I'm gonna mix the two because I want it kind of peach. So kind of yellow, kind of pink. Go ahead and look up for me. And we're just going to brighten this under eye area all the way to the inner corner. When you have a smoky eye, you do not want to look like you have any circles because otherwise you will look sick. No sick, we want to look chic. So pressing. Do you notice I'm not making a strict line right up to where we have that beautiful gradated bottom liner? I want it to be nice and soft. So I'm pressing most of the color. I'm going to do this on both so you can really see. Most of the color where any darkness would be, which is right in this area. And I'm just gonna clean it up all the way to here. And I want my smoky eye, I don't want it to be very strict. I don't want like a line. I want it soft. So I'm putting most of the pigment for the concealer right where she needs it. And then when I'm done, all right, so I'm taking a fluffy, this is the Airbrush concealer brush from Sephora. And mine's kind of old school because my brushes last a lifetime. And I'm just taking it and softening that edge. See how we did not eliminate that brown that we've created on the bottom? And I love that. So I'm blending the concealer up into that. So again, we have it all the way here on the inner corner. And then I'm just blending that top edge into the brown so that we don't have a really strong line. I don't want to have like a cleaned up line. I want it to stay really smoky. So pressing any extra or excess coverage that we need right here. You can also take your finger. I love to press in concealers with my finger. I find that it just like melts right into the skin rather than leaving too much product on the skin. Just looks really nice and pretty. So press, 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 using your finger. And then I like to take any extra that I have, go right around the nose, brighten up underneath. Sometimes we have like pink on our noses, little broken capillaries or anything. So just kind of going around. Let me see. Boom. Look at that bright eye. I am, last but not least, just going to go over that brown really quickly, making sure it's all perfected. You can set your concealer with a powder if you want to. Lindsay's doesn't have super oily skin, so I'm not going to, but I am going to finish off her skin. Since we've done that concealer, I'm gonna finish off everything with just a tiny bit of highlighter. I love to be glowy. This one is one of my favorites, Anastasia Amreezy highlighter. It's so beautiful, it literally looks, have you used this one before?
No.
Oh my gosh, just get ready for this. It's like wet, dewy, yummy, glowy goodness. I mean, look.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
How amazing. Aww. I can't sing, but look at how pretty that is. And then you just like have this beautiful glow. So you've got gorgeous skin, so we're just going to enhance it. And I want to make you really glowy. I hope you like glowy.
I do.
Okay, good. So if you notice, I did not set her concealer with the powder, but I'm taking the highlighter and kind of going along some of that concealer, so that will set it. I'm gonna go just a little bit on the nose. I don't like a strong nose highlight, but just a little bit. Top of the lip, super pretty. She's got a cute little bow. Cute little bow. I love it. All right, and then I'm actually gonna take a tiny bit of this same highlighter, and we're just gonna pop it in her inner corners. Right there, doo, doo, doo. This will just help to kind of brighten up the eyes since they're nice and dark and smoky. We could do lashes. I'm not gonna do lashes on her right now. I like her lashes, what she has going on. So, and then last but not least, just a tiny bit of blush. This is an amazing blush palette by NARS. And I'm gonna mix these two colors. So that's probably Orgasm if I had to guess. Oh, no, it's not.
I use that one.
It looks like Orgasm, but it's not. It is actually called Bumpy Ride and Buzzed. I'm gonna mix those two. This might be a limited palette, but Orgasm is kind of what I was going for with this look. It's kind of pink, kind of peachy. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of blush. Again, I'm being very light-handed. She doesn't need a lot. Orgasm's really pretty because it has that gold and that pink and that peach.
It's like a glowy.
Yeah. So we have her dark smoky eye. We've done her blush. Look at that, her cute little mouth. I love her lips. So we highlighted her Cupid's bow, and I really am loving your natural lip color. So we have some balm on it so your lips don't look dry, but that pink color that she has naturally on her lips are so amazing. So you don't always have to do a lip color. If you have beautiful lips like Lindsay does, stick with it. I mean, you could wear a clear gloss, you could keep it natural, a little lip balm. I'm actually gonna keep it natural. I hope you don't mind. I think, do you wear a lot of lip colors?
I wear red here and there.
Okay.
And then lots of just gloss and nothing too crazy, yeah.
So we have this crazy strong eye, so I'm going to balance it by not doing a lip color. Shocker, you don't always have to do lip color. So she's got beautiful pigment in her lips. They're not disappeared. We highlighted the edge so you can see her cute little Cupid's bow pop out. And that way it keeps it more natural. So we've got this strong eye, feathery brow, glowy skin, tiny bit of blush, and natural lip. All balanced out, and that is our look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. So just to recap, we did that black smoky eye starting with the gel liner as the base to create that depth. That way you minimize some fallout so you don't have to apply too much black shadow. We blended out with brown shadows. You need those brown shadows to make them look more natural and get that beautiful gradation. Using those brown and black eyeliners on the bottom, again, to get the gradation. And then don't forget that fun tip I taught you with the tissue and the mascara so that you can minimize any transfer when you're putting on mascara. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Jill Powell Glam. Thanks again.